Hey guys, welcome to Ham Radio with K0PIR, my YouTube channel. If you've been following me on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, you may have noticed that I'm using a Drake TR7. I got this radio after I got back from the Hamvention in Xenia, Ohio. Had a great time there. Got this t-shirt and got this cap. Got that bird watt meter back there. And I think a couple other things. But anyway, this video is on the Drake TR7. Boy, I've been having a great time with it. It is a fantastic old radio. It's probably 40 years old, but it hangs in there with some of the modern transceivers of today. It's got a good receiver. The transmit audio sounds different, and I'm going to tell you it is different, but it is clear and it is good quality communication transmit audio. Okay, good morning, Jerry. Good morning to everybody on the Breakfast Club. I just barely heard Robert out there. I got a good copy on Paul. And Doc, I got a good copy on you. And Jerry, yeah, your signal, I couldn't even hear you when you first came on. But I suppose the band is just getting a little bit better. I'm using the Shure 444D microphone. I've done a couple of things to the Drake. One thing I did was put in a Noble single sideband filter. It's 2.8 kilohertz instead of the standard 2.3. So I put it in one slot and then I moved the 2.3 kilohertz into another slot. And you'll see that in the video coming up. It does make a difference. I've also added a fan on the back because it does warm up when I'm running the net. And I was running the Breakfast Club net this morning and it got pretty warm. I had the amplifier going. So I put a fan on the back of it, and it's a 110 volt fan. It's one that I actually had for my Ameritron AL811. It was an extra that I had laying around. So I put it on the back, and I'm kind of hoping that it stabilizes the frequency because it does drift a little bit. This is one of the first solid-state radios ever made, and on one website it says it was the first commercial solid-state radio for amateur radio. And I got it off of an auction site. I'll put a link on my website, and I have an article on www.k0pir.us. If you go there, you see my article. I've got some links below in the article, and I'll also have a link to this video. So thanks for watching, and please remember to like, subscribe, and share when you're finished. Hey, if you haven't already, click on that subscribe button below. And if you want to be notified when I put out a new video, ring that bell. Okay, let's take a look at the Drake TR7. This is the first solid-state rig that Drake put out, and it is commercially one of the very first solid-state rigs made for amateur radio. This Drake TR7 was made back in the late 70s, I'm going to guess 79 or maybe 80. The serial number is 10,831, and it was one of the later models. After you get past 10,850, it changes over to the Drake TR7A, and the A model had a few more bells and whistles. But I'm pretty happy with this one. It did come with the noise blanker. So let's take a quick look at it, an overview of this radio. I'll show you what excites me about it. I'm going to turn off the passband tuning. I've been listening to the YL system, and right now you'll hear that interference coming in. To get rid of it, I can just hit the PBT button. Passband tuning, I can adjust it here. You can hear that noise come back, and I can get rid of it. This rig puts out about 130 watts, and I'm using a Shure 444D microphone. Let me tune down the band and let's see if I can hear anybody else. Alright, there's a Maritime Mobile Net. I heard somebody on there. Not coming in real strong. I got the RF gain turned back.
Wrong knob there. The speaker is on the side of the radio. I've had the top cover off. I pulled out the 2.3 kilohertz sideband filter and replaced it with a 2.8 kilohertz sideband filter made by Noble. So I put it in the main slot and I put the 2.3 in slot A. So right now we're listening to 2.8 kilohertz. And if I want to change to a little narrower filter, that pulls them in just a little bit better. Let's see what passband tuning does. That helps pull them in a little bit more. I have noticed some drifting, and to try to alleviate that, I put a fan on the back. That's another option that came with the Drake. I found that the fan for my AL811, I had an extra one. It fit the back of the Drake, so I just put that fan on the back. It's 110 volts, and I can't hear it running right now. Maybe that will help with some of the drifting. I noticed when I was running the net this morning, I ran it for about 45 minutes, that it was getting pretty hot. I was driving the amplifier and talking on it a lot, transmitting a lot, so it did warm up. And I think the fan will help with that. I'm sure it will. Okay, let's go down. It's got good audio, really good sound, and it's a good receiver. Let's see, we got somebody calling CQ. Kilo Zero Papa India Radio. There's been a lot of QSB on the band today. I'm going to take it off that narrow filter. Kilo Zero Papa India Radio. My watt meter on the radio doesn't match up with my other meter over here. This is not a peak reading meter, but it doesn't match up with that either when I use the CW key on it. Yeah, I think I lost him there. Oh, let's go down and see if we find somebody else.
Try it again Monday. This is KBATG Cincinnati, and we'll be clear on the frequency with the Buckeyes. KBATG Cincinnati is off and clear.
Well, let's go over some of the knobs and buttons on the radio. You've got 4 lights up here: fixed, set band, RIT, and passband tuning. The RIT and the passband tuning I can use the RIT, turn it on here, receive incremental tuning, and turn it off, and then of course the passband tuning. Now the fixed and the set band are used for options that I don't have, and it has to do with the auxiliary board. I don't have an auxiliary board in it. We go across, we can go up and down 500 kilohertz at a time. If I go down, it jumps 500 kilohertz. Go up 500 kilohertz. Then we have a store button, kind of like a scratch pad, where if I hit, I'm on 14.262 right now. If I hit store, hold, it goes in and stays. I can use the VFO. And let's see if I can find somebody else in here. There was a Maritime Mobile right at 14.3. Can't hear anybody on there right now. go back to 14,262. And to tell you the truth, I haven't used the store, but that is it's a good option. It was a good option back in the day. Let's go down to these buttons. REF is the reflected power. So when I'm transmitting, I can see the reflected power. And underneath that, you can see it's FWD for forward power. This is the push to talk, and the Vox. When it's in, I'm using push to talk, and I have used the Vox. I used it on the net this morning, and it works really good. This is the gain for the Vox, the anti-Vox, and then the delay for the Vox. Going across, we have a fast and slow AGC. Let's see if I can find somebody. Fast, slow. I don't know if you can tell the difference. I can hear it just a little bit. The fixed, the transmit and receive, that's for use with crystals. If I had crystals on the radio, which I don't, and then over here the passband tuning. Calibrate is a calibration for 25, I think it's at 25 kilohertz. Let's see where it goes. There it is. Every 25 kilohertz.
Drop a little bit more. I asked the doctor, I said, okay.
Okay, there we go. We found somebody else. Noise blanker. I've tried it on and off, and it isn't working for me. I do have the noise blanker board in here, but I just don't have any noise that it knocks out. I hear that it works really well. If I was to put this in my vehicle, it'd probably work really good. Then the bandwidth, the filters A, B, and C. Right now we're using the 2.8. That's the 2.3. B, which I don't have, and then C, which I don't have. There, I got that right. The RCT I don't use because I don't have a remote hooked up to it, a remote transceiver, a remote VFO, so I'm not using that. RIT, I did say that I do use sometimes. The mode button, passband tuning. This is the passband tuning, and this is the RIT. Of course, the VFO knob. Vox already explained. The CW delay in there. I haven't used it on CW yet. I've got a straight key hooked up to it over here. Got a straight key hooked up, but I haven't been using it. And of course the volume and the RF gain.
You can improve it by just popping the high end or higher end up there in that frequency range over.
Yeah, that kind of took care of the one signal just off. It's pretty close in frequency. There he is. Yeah, he's pretty close.
They had new Kenwood and the new Icon.
He's just 1 kilohertz off.
Many people there. They have quite a display. You know, they got their radios shining and. But anyway.
But boy, it's a good sounding radio. And I sure do like it. I got the PS power supply. It's a monster. It's as big as the radio.
Anyway, are you running the IC7300 today? Go ahead. No, I'm running the FT1000 here, the AC.
Okay, that's a little overview of the Drake TR7. I'll have a little more information on my website. I've already got some information up, some videos. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, I've got some short videos. And boy, it's just a nice old radio. If you have any questions or comments, please make them below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Also, tell your friends. 73 and good DX.